Would you like to get started with WordPress as an actual website? I'm going to be showing you in today's tutorial. Welcome everybody into this new video of TechExpress. I'm going to be showing you how to get started with the actual WordPress for beginners. You don't need to know absolutely anything about creating a blog, a website, to write anything. So we're going to be doing stuff actually for beginners, totally from scratch, step by step. So let's just get started. The very first thing I wanted to do is to go directly into WordPress.com. I'm going to leave you a link down below in the description so you can all get started totally for free today. So what are the actual benefits to work into WordPress and not into, for example, Google Sites or into Shopify or somewhere else like Wix.com? Usually what we do is to work into WordPress because there's a lot of resources that actually WordPress has to offer to us. There's a lot of templates that we can use totally for free. You can create more than just blogs. You can create an online store. You can create your own portfolio. You can create really awesome innovation styles here into the actual WordPress. So in order to get started, guys, what I wanted to do once I am here to WordPress.com, usually you let's say that you have already clicked down below in the description that I just gave you here, and it's going to be asking you to let's get started. So usually you would like to add your email address, or you wanted to import as well as a username and choose a passcode. So in my case, what I do love to do in order to get started to make this a little bit more easier is to continue with Google. So now into Google, usually what I do is just to open my Gmail account. I select my account, actually really easy. So it's going to be asking you to choose a domain. Now in this part, usually we have created an actual video of how we can create an actual website with different ways, different platforms. But in this case here into WordPress, usually it's going to be asking you right away, straight away, what is your actual domain would you like to use? So let's say that here have choose a domain. So I'm going to go for month. And now it's going to be showing us an actual lot of stuffs, recommendations that we can choose in order to get started. Usually we have like the most recommended one, which in my case is free for the first year with the annual paid plan. So if you wanted to check that out, you wanted to go into select, and this one should be sending you into different flavor of WordPress. So you can choose the free version, you have the personal, the premium, the business, commerce, and enterprise versions. So in this case, we actually, since we're just getting started, we wanted to get started with the free version. What does the free version actually comes with? So check it out here. The free version comes with beautiful themes. You have unlimited pages, unlimited users, a time machine for post edit. This means that sometimes when you edit a lot, but truly a lot of pages, and you have edited for more than a month, for example, you can go back from the very first week or the second week that you were actually editing your pages. So just in case you wanted to go back and edit more stuff, you have the built-in SRSS. You have this smart redirects, you have the online forever, you have 10% transaction fees for payment. This is optional. This is only for people who are willing to sell stuff here into WordPress. You have paid subscribers, you have payment buttons, visitor stats, contact forms, spam protection, and of course much more. As you are choosing a higher level of an actual plan here into WordPress, you're going to be having more benefits. So in this tutorial, we're going to stick around with the actual free version. So you can go into start totally for free. Now, in this case, if you wanted to stick around with a domain that you kind of liked and you have a great deal, for example, free for 1 year, it's going to be asking you to get this personal for, in this case, almost $2. But since we wanted to get started with an actual website totally for free, wanted to continue with a free plan. That means that my actual website URL domain is called, in this case, elmontblog.wordpress.com. If you're okay with that, just get to continue with the free plan. You can later on change as you are evolving and having much more tools into your actual website. Now it's going to be asking you, what are your goals? Now here into what are your goals, you can usually go, in my case, let's say that we wanted to focus into promote myself and write and publish content. So hit now into continue, and it's going to be asking us to pick a design. So here into your designs, we have a lot of elements that we can choose. You wanted to make sure that you have a free version. So check it out here. We do have here the free. You can choose from portfolio, you can choose from a blog, you can go for store, art and design, the about, the LinkedIn to bio, authors and writers. So let's say that here we wanted to focus in a magazine, right? So I'm going to go into magazine, and we have 4 different templates that we can choose totally for free. We have the ESU, we have the AI Dente, we have the TANAS, and we have the Arcadio. So you can choose the option that best suits for you. And before you customize this, it's going to be asking you to change or to choose the font. So in my case, I kind of like this one. I'm going to hit now into continue, and my actual website is almost ready. So we need to get started by writing our first post or to edit the site design. So this is like a preview of how it's going to be looking our website inside WordPress. So as you can see, I'm going to go here into write your first post. And this one should be sending us directly into the post section of the editor of WordPress. So in this section, you can actually take the tool. This one's going to be showing you like everything is a blog, adding a new blog, making the text blog. You're going to be seeing this step by step. So let's go into skip and let's check it out. How does this actual blog works? So here into add my title, let's say that I'm going to go for welcome everybody. And I have the type to choose a blog. So if I go and go for the forward, I can choose an image, a heading, a gallery list, keyword, a shift, audio buttons, and calendar. What happens if I go into heading? So check it out here. I have the heading section, introducing a new section, organized content to help visitors understand the structure of my content. So if I type, for example, home, I have the +1, and I'm gonna just make this look like level number 2 or level number 1. So as you can see now, here is an actual, let's say there's like a block that I can use to edit my elements. So if I go and change the image, I'm going to go into select images. Let's say that you don't have any images yet on your own. So you can choose free images directly here into WordPress. So let's go here into select image, and you can choose Google Photos, Pexels free photos, or Openburst. I'm going to go for Pexels. So here into select media, you choose ocean, for example. In my case, I'm going to go for, let's say, fruits. And now I have a lot of images that I can choose. I'm going to go for this one. I hit into select, and automatically it's going to be showing me the image that I just chose. And I have now down here the credits. Really important, because since this is totally for free, you wanted to enter the information of who took the picture or whether you took the actual photo. So now I have the photo here, and check it out here. I have my heading here, and down here I have my photo. So really, really easy. If you see the plus section here, I can add more blocks, like for example, like a list. Let's say I wanted to make like a recipe. So you're gonna be needing, I don't know, maybe sugar. You're gonna be needing fruits, like for example, you go for tomatoes. This is more vegetables, but this is just like an example of what you can do here. Strawberries, right? And so on and on and on. So let's assume that you are okay with our very first post. Hit into save my draft because I am not ready to publish this yet, and I go back. If you think you're actually ready to go into publish it, just go into the upper side, go into published, check it out, the visibility, the publish, the suggestions, the design category. Usually what we do here into suggestions to add a tag is going to be helping the search engines navigations to try to find a little bit more your actual website. So how do people can find my actual website to have accurate stuff? So in this case, this is a blog for, let's say, fruits recipes. I'm going to go for fruits recipes like this. So if I go into a comma, it's going to be adding my very first tag. So you can go for fruits. I can go for Elmont Fruits, which is the name of my company branding stuff, and the blog, what this is about. Let's go for blog for creating food with fruits. Now I have 4 different tags. Lastly, we have the suggestion of the design category. So the category is going to be helping a little bit more to readers understand what is my actual blog about. Let's go into new category name, and let's go for recipes. So parent category, uncategorized, and add new category. There we go. So now I am ready to publish now my very first post. So you can go into view post to check it out how it's going to be looking my post. And you can see here that I have the site title, the uncategorized, welcome everybody. Here's the home section, and here's my image, and of course my actual list of the elements that we have chosen. Now into the show this, I can show this from Twitter, Facebook. Into the right part, I have more categories. I have here what is my actual website about, and that will be actually it. So now let's go back into next steps. If you clicked here into next step, and then as you can see, we have the edit design to design. This one would take you directly into the site editor of the actual WordPress. So as you can see here, I am now into my very front page. We do have here the site title, our images, join the fun, the unsectorized, more stuff here. For example, this is like an example of blogs, I believe. So I have previous pages, next pages, here's my footer, and that will be actually it. So usually what you do when you have an actual template is that you just import the elements of your store, of your website, of your design, your portfolio of yourself that you wanted to edit. For example, here, if I choose this template, usually what I do is just to edit, for instance, the actual title. So I'm gonna go for L month, like this. And down here I have the main dishes, and since we are not focusing into main dishes, let's say that we are actually focusing into fruits. So let's go for top 10 fruits on the 2023. So I click into launched top 10 vegetables on 2023, and let's go for top 10 most damaging food, something like that, damaging or damaged food. There we go. I can edit my actual image. So I click here and I go for replace, select images. I'm going to choose pixels because here into pixel we actually found really great images. We go once again into fruits, and there we go. So I choose this element, I here to select, and automatically it's going to be just moving as I am moving my image too. So if you wanted to actually have the same amount in here, the same let's say size, you wanted to go here into crop, and usually what I do is just to try to change here the aspect ratio. Let's go for square, and I try to make this like this and go for apply. There we go. So I have the square version. So here's the photo, here's the top 10 fruits, and I do exactly here for the vegetables. Top 10 vegetables on the 2023. Let's go for replace. I select my images. Let's go for pixels free, and instead of fruits, let's go for vegetables. And there we go. So I just hit into, let's say I connect like this one, and hit now into select. And there we go. So I use exactly the same process. I go for replaced or aspect ratio, square, apply, and there we go. So it all looks now really great. Now to most damaged food, since we are not talking about fruits and vegetables anymore, let's go for select the images. Let's go for pixels, and here I'm going to go for fast food, like this. So I choose, let's say for example this one, I hit it to select, and the process is actually the same. Replace, aspect ratio, square, and apply. There we go. So now I scroll a little bit down, I go with join the fun. Let's go for subscribe to our mailing list. So stay updated with our latest receipts and other news by joining our newsletter. Usually this actually helps to tracking more content, tracking more how many people are here into our actual website. And let's say that you wanted to import more information about vegetables, about recipes, and you wanted to inform people through email. So this is why I love to use the subscribe button here, so people can just let's say add in the subscribe button, and I can get started with the actual emailing list directly into my actual store. So down here, we usually have the grid view of the actual category of our blogs. So you can select the group here, and you can try to transform or change the actual title, for example here. Usually what we do here is to get started with the uncategorized, and you can change this actually later. But in my case, I wanted to go here into 3 dots and usually go into delete. So what I do now, in order to, let's say, move on to the next step, let's go into save. I'm going to go back into WordPress. And as you can see here, we have the navigation. We have the styles, the pages, templates, and pattern. Into navigation, you're going to be seeing that you have different pages list. you want to make sure that your actual website is saved it before you moved into a very next step. So if I go into navigation, I can go into this section which says about. So in about section, if I go into the right part, I can get started by adding a new link. So usually I'm going to go here into home, for example. So I choose this post, I go into add new, and now I have this new section. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add a new one. Usually I can choose my social icons. So I click plus to add, and I'm going to get starting with an actual link. So let's say that I enter, I don't know, maybe YouTube. So I'm going to go for www, let's go for youtube.com and enter. And now here I have the new navigation tool. So you can make this like this, look like this, and look like a bit more big enough. So hit now into save. You want to make sure that you save everything that you do here into your actual WordPress. So which that actually brings us into the actual next step. If you're actually okay with the template you're actually using, then what we can do is just to keep following more and more and more elements as we are adding blogs, as we are adding our social media, our content, and much more. So usually what I do now is to go back. I'm going to go actually back. I have my design. I'm going to go back. This one is going to be sending us directly where we actually add before. I'm going to go into launch my site, and my website is going to be launched automatically. So I have now view my site, and by default, this is how it's going to be looking our actual site. If you see into the upper side, you have the navigation bar, the about, the welcome everybody, hello world. So this is like a menu, and here you have the socials into the right part. We have our logo here, we have our images, we have the subscribe to our mailing list, and that will be actually it. So far, we actually did a really great job. But what happened if you think that this template is not working for you, or you actually wanted to get started totally from scratch? So I totally get you guys. What you can do here is to actually go back into your WordPress. And as you can see here, we have the visit my site. So what you can do is whether you wanted to just save this as an actual template or as a draft. And what I do is to go directly here into the home section. And now if you can see here into your home section, you can go into visit your site, or what you can do is to go directly into your new site so you can try to get started with an actual new one. So just scroll all the way down and look out for add new site. So the process is actually exactly the same. So choose your free boson, choose your domain, and instead of choosing, and I'm going to go here into write a prop list, and let's say promote myself, hit into continue. I have my blog name, for example. Let's go for fruits and vegetables recipes. And tagline, I'm just going to go and leave this into fruits and vegetables, and I'm going to hit now into continue. So usually I'm going to go into view designs, and sometimes there's an actual design that you kind of like, but you don't see that there's a lot of elements. Usually if you wanted to actually have more control of your actual website, is to go directly into design your own. So this one is going to be showing us a header and sections and a footer. So usually what I do is just choose the blocks that I kind of like to see into my website, and now I can customize it. I have a little bit more control into my website. Of course, it's going to be taking a little bit more of time for us, but I think it's going to be much more faster and much easier for understanding what is the elements that we see into our website. So let's say that I choose this huge header, and here I have fruits and vegetables recipes, about, home, and contact. So I believe that's more than enough, right? So I kind of like this one. Let's go into sections. Now here into sections, usually what you do is to choose only the blocks that you want to see. So for example, I have these 2 blocks, I have these 3 blocks, I have these 4 blocks. And if you like it, you leave it like that. I'm going to go into image gallery, for example, and I can change this, and I can just add stuff. I can just add more and more elements directly into this template that we are actually creating. So usually what I do is just to go, let's say that I add a slider. Of course, the elements that you don't want to see, you can delete those. Let's say that I hit here, I hit into remove, I go a little bit down here, gonna go into remove once again, and let's go. So let's go now into call to action. Let's say that I show all my people about my recipes, about myself, about my company. So I'm gonna go with the call to action. Let's go for something like this. Discover world possibilities, learn more. So I think it's gonna be now truly easy to add this. So a little bit up, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go about with the about us section. So if you think this one should be up, I'm gonna go here and choose this move up, and automatically it's gonna make the flip section. Now into the context section, I'm gonna go here into let's make something together or let's chat. So choose something that's not that fancy and you're actually good to go now. So lastly, I just wanted to add a footer because I wanted to usually add my socials at the very bottom of my actual website. In this case, it would be really low as a footer. So I'm going to choose something really easy. I choose this style. And there we go. So now I want to check it out how it's going to be looking my website. I have my big header. I have something about fruits and vegetables. I have something about food here. I have now here a slider, a about us, call to action. We do have these, let's say contact us, and lastly we have the footer. If you're okay with that, just now go into pick your style. Now it's going to be asking us to choose our style in order to continue. So in this case, we are only able to choose the black and blue because it's totally for free. So you're just going to go and stick around with that button. And here into fonts, I want to stick around with the one that's only available for us. So let's go here for the free font of the Ento. Let's go for saved and continue. And now I'm going to go to start adding content. So now this one is going to be now sending us directly into the editor as we were actually before into the very first part of the actual tutorial. So check this out. We are now inside the editor and you can see that we have much more elements, much more controls with the customization and manual control of a website rather than using an actual template. So a template is going to be, could be actually really tempting to use because you don't need to do almost anything. But as you can see, it doesn't take us like more than 2-3 minutes to figure out what are the actual elements you want to see directly into WordPress. And as you can see, we are now halfway there to get started with our actual website. What we just need to do is just to customize our website as we are actually editing our own editor here. So usually what I do now is to click into this new word section. Now I'm going to choose my actual section of this slider. Let's go for edit, and you can select your own files, or you can edit your gallery by choosing the media gallery here, upload your files, or just select files. So usually what we do here is just to add the elements that we actually select here before, like fruits and vegetables, remember that? So let's say that the about us, let's go for who are we. And now what I do here in order to edit more content is to get started with the ChatGPT. If you open any tab, if you go with chat.openai.com, it's going to be showing you an actual great tool that is going to be helping you to, let's say, do something really interesting. Now, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence content account helping you to do your work much more faster. So let's say that here to send a message, I'm going to go with create a short description here for my about us section of my website, and let's go for dot. We are focused mainly into create recipes about fruits or based. Let's go for recipes based into fruits and vegetables. There we go. So now here's a short description for your about us section. So as you can see, I do have something really easy. In this case, I believe this one was created into Spanish because this one is by default into Spanish. If you have something related like myself, you can always go into now translate into English, for example. And there we go. So here is our actual element. So what you need to do is to go and copy all of this element. I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna paste that in here. So there you go. So I have the learned more section. So usually the learned more is linked into a new page. If you wanted to add a new page, we'll be doing that later. But you're gonna be focusing now a little bit down here. So discover a world of possibilities. Let's go for contact us, or let's say submit your own recipes here. Learn more. Interested? Book a free consultation. Let's say that contact us here. So here, or I can just choose contact us, and at the here section here where it says contact us, I'm gonna delete this part and go for here. So there we go. Now it's looking really, really great, right? So let's move on. I'm gonna scroll all my way up. And usually what you do here in this section is just to get started to edit the content here. There you go with Control C, Command C, and there you go. So I do have to read more. Let's go for read more here. There we go. And now usually what we do in order to edit this section is to go directly into this new editor of the pages or the templates in this case. So here is the home version, right? So if I wanted to edit the header, for example, I already hit the header section. So I have the fruit and vegetable recipes, right? So I kind of like this one, but I don't kind of like this side logo because I wanted to create my own. So I'm gonna go into select my files, and I'm gonna go here into my own elements, and what I wanted to do is to choose something easy like this and hit into open, and now I have the select section and automatically it's going to be showing it like this. There you go. So if I wanted to delete this one because you think this is actually not working, just go into month recipes. There we go. And now let's see what we can do with this actual image, because we don't want to see this image anymore. We wanted to change this. So I'm going to go here into replaced, and let's go for use featured image or select media, pixels free photos. Once again, let's go for fruits, and we have created something really easy into the other websites. I'm going to choose something like that, and there we go. So lastly, what I do here, I think that this one actually is not working, so I'm going to just leave this like that. And I'm going to hit now into save. There we go. So my site is now been updated, right? So if you're okay with that, just go into the full screen. Let's go out from the actual full screen. There we go. I have the header editor section here. And now we have this new section of the footer. So you can choose your footer here. This one should be sending you directly into your footer, and you can get started to edit your footer. For example, a WordPress.com site. Let's go here. The best recipes in the 2023. So now I have Facebook. Usually this link sends you directly into their Facebook account. So you can go for www.facebook.com. I'm going to leave this like that because we actually don't have a Facebook, but you can add your own if you wanted to. Twitter, which is almost X now, and Instagram. Hit to save once again, and now I can go back. So I have now edited the template parts of my header footer, and now the post media part, which is fully synchronized, should be adding here the categories. Since we're not focusing into categories here, we don't have a lot of steps to edit. I'm going to just go back. And now, as you can see, we have the about, the blog post, the call to action, coming soon, and much more elements as we were just actually getting started here. So check it out here. If you go directly into your, I'm going to go back, of course. If you go directly into your pages, you have the search results, and you can go here into edit. And check it out. This is like how it's going to be looking when somebody make in a specific search terms. So if you wanted to, let's say, move this a little bit down or upper, or you just don't want to see something specifically, you can just edit that. If you're okay with what you're actually seeing, just leave it like that. But in my case, I wanted to change the list view from grid actually, from the actual list view. So it's actually looking now much more interesting. So let's go into save. I hit into save, and now later on, I'm going to go into these three dots. I go out from the actual design. So to add custom pages now inside the WordPress, you can always go directly into your WordPress section, and you're going to be creating a new page. I'm going to go back. I'm going to be showing you actually how we do this. So I'm going to go here into my sites. I have the home section. You can go here into pages and add new page, or you wanted to go here into my home, and you're going to get started with add a page. So usually it's going to be asking you what you want to do with your new page. So let's go for about, for example, and you can choose once again a template to get started. If you don't like that, once again, you can just create your own, as we were actually doing that before. So here I have the about me. I'm going to just delete the me and change it for about us. Now about us, remember that we have something here into ChatGPT. So I'm going to copy it and paste it in here. And once again, we can replace the image. Select image, pixel free, and let's go for food recipes. So there we go. So I can choose this image, and automatically it's going to be moving it. I can hit into crop, and I can try to move this, but I think it's going to be looking great like this. There we go. So here's the about us section, and here I have like a few reviews. If you can, if you wanted to add those, or you don't want to see this anymore, once again, remember to choose the block and delete it before you wanted to publish it. So delete, and the columns should be now added automatically. So we go now into published. And what I wanted to do now is to link my page directly into the about us section, remember? So in order to do that, we have this page address. I'm going to go into copy this one. I'm going to go back here, and here, as you can see, we have the recently paged section. So I can go here into my actual website. Let's go into edit your site once again. And here I have the navigation section. So into the navigation, you can create a new section here and to go to about. This one should be sending you, in this case here, now into, if I wanted to delete this actual website, I can create a new one. So usually what I do, since we already have an about section, I can move this to the trash, and I can create a new one, a new page here. So you're gonna go into about us section. I don't want to see this anymore, so I can go here into the plush. The page title is about us, and here is an actual draft. And there we go. Here is linked to the actual about us section that we have created before. So what I just wanted to do now is just to go back, go into the navigation. I go directly into the website, and here remember that we have the who are we. If I choose the learn more, I select all of it. I go into edit, and the link should be our actual about us section. So now into save once again. It's going to be saved it automatically, and now we can go back and visit our site. So if I go into visit our site, here we have like a short design of what we actually do here so far. So what I wanted to do now is scroll all my way down and make sure that the links that you actually created is actually working as we are actually getting started here. So I have the about us section, and it's actually looking really, really great. Now, lastly, before we go, I'm going to be showing you a last thing that can be helping you to make more easier WordPress to, let's say as an editor, it's going to be making your stuff much more easier. And those are plugins. So if I go back into my site, you can see that we have the plugin section a little bit down in here. And having plugins here is going to be helping your store to, let's say, making optimization for search engines, for let's say e-commerce and business, events, calendar, socials. We have email, we have shipping and delivery, marketing, photos and pop-ups, calculators, and actually much more. But there's actually one thing that you need to, let's say, check it out before you want to use an actual plugin. To do this, there are a few that actually are for free, but those actually come with an actual plan into WordPress. So if you don't have an actual plan, you have a free plan, you're not going to be able to add any plugin yet. So if I go into upgrade and activate, this one should be taking me into the upgrade and activation plus. So choose an actual plan, and this plan actually comes with all the plugins. Another solution that I can give you if you're just getting started and you are not worried about your actual custom domain is to go directly into your Pantheon. Now, Pantheon.io is going to be helping you to launch a WordPress or a Drupal website much more faster. It has a hosting, managing WordPress, and of course, there's a lot of pricing that you can choose, but we are actually going to be focusing into the Silver plan because the Silver plan has the platform features and full access to the documentation side of WordPress. So if I go into get started today, in my case, I'm going to go once again with sign in with Google. So I'm going to choose once again my account, and as you can see, I just chose this option. So usually what we do now is to just get started with the old I'm not an agency. Here you add your first, your last name. So let's go for Steven, Express, and the country you're currently living. So let's go here for United States, hit now into continue, and we're actually good to go. So now you can be focusing into sites inside Pantheon.io. So inside Pantheon.io, I'm going to go here into sites, create a free site. And now what I want to do is just to go and choose WordPress. So if I go into WordPress, I choose this option, and here's going to be loading our new dashboard of our website. So we can go into create a new website. What you can do is to try to create an actual new website inside Pantheon.io and then go directly into WordPress. Sometimes what you can do here into your WordPress with the website that you have already been created is to export your actual website so you can import this later on into a new editor. So I'm going to go here into the name of your Pantheon site. Let's go for Elmont once again, United States. I'm going to hit now into continue. And now, as you can see here, after the continuing process has been now successfully added, what's going to be happening here is that the new WordPress is going to be creating a website with no restrictions. So you don't need to pay absolutely for anything into WordPress, and you're going to be having access. Feel free to do whatever you wanted to into WordPress. But of course, you're going to be having a custom domain created by and for the actual Pantheon. So if you're okay, once again, to use a custom domain, a basic domain, for example, .pantheon.io, then actually we're actually good to go. If you wanted to pay for your own website domain, you can pay for that directly into Pantheon. So just wait a few seconds till this actual section make the installation process, and let's go into continue. So let's click into visit your Pantheon site dashboard, and this one should actually be taking us into the new developer side of this new website. So we're going to visit developer side or site administrator. For the very first time, it's going to be asking us what is our actual language and what is the site title. So once again, I'm going to go for Elmont. Username, I'm going to try to use this one. If it's not available, you can choose another one. And now here into the passcode, I'm going to try with something a little bit easier just for the purpose of this tutorial. I'm going to be using this one, and here's going to be asking you for an actual Gmail. So here, I'm going to go into install my actual WordPress. So I'm going to go here into the X mark. Now it says success. Your username is going to be this one, and the passcode is actually this one. So this one should be taking you now into the developer side of WordPress. So I can choose my username. I hit on my passcode. I hit into logged in, and we're now inside WordPress. But the most amazing part is that if you go directly into your plugins, you should see that I'm going to go here into add new plugin, and we don't have the update your plan and pay later. We have now the install section. So just get here into install now, and you can add all the tools that you can or possibly wanted to. So usually, guys, what you wanted to do now that you have this new section, I can totally suggest you to add 3 great plugins that can be helping you to make this much more easier. Number 1 is the Yoast CEO. Number 2 is to add, if you're like an online store, is to activate the WooCommerce. And the number 3, you can add more stuff like G-Side. The G-Side is going to be helping you to add Google Analytics, Google Shops, Google Maps, a lot of stuff that can be helping you into, if this is like a portfolio or like an online store. All of these plugins are actually really, really great. Adding like a different contact forms, adding like, for example, your new zip file of an actual website that you have already created. You can choose or try to look for an actual plugin that can be doing that for you. So you have successfully installed Yoast CEO, start the very first time configuration, and here I have my dashboard and all of that. So the process of creating an actual website inside Pantheon is exactly the same. So go here into your dashboard. Here I have the add a new page, open the site editor, edit my styles, and once again, the process is exactly the actual same. So I have the design, the navigation, the style, pages, template, pattern. So check this out. So I'm gonna go here and hit into get started and make sure that you have the tools, and instead of select, I'm gonna go for edit. And once again, the process is exactly the same. So choose here, I go into these three dots and I can get started to changing the elements of my store. Almond, mind blow. So let's go for welcome to our store. And if you wanted to check that out, check out more templates, you can always go and back, go into templates, and have all shifts. And I can just get started with a new section here. For example, we don't have any templates yet because we haven't added anything at all. But what you can do is to try to look out for more templates as you are just getting started here into your actual WordPress. I'm going to go here into the upper side. It says new actually. And what I'm going to be doing here is just to get started with not a post, but actually to find out like a really great template. And for that, I do love to go for plugins. I go here into add new. And you can choose the classic editor, but I'm going to go here into search plugins. Now let's go for a landing page, actually, just to try to look out for something different. So I have the website builder by Seed Pro. I have the landing page builder. This one is for free. So I'm going to go here into install now. It's now been installed. I hit now into activate. And there we go. So as you can see, we have now this new section where we can all get started. We have the welcome section. I'm going to go into add new landing page. This one would be sending us directly into the editor once again. So I'm going to go into the open plugin landing page editor. Let's go for templates and we can choose whatever element you wanted to. Let's see, for example, that I want to go here and look out for the sales pro, for example. You're going to hit now into preview and there we go. So now I do have like this quick view of my new website, of my new design section. So let's try to look out for something much more easier. For example, this one. And once again, the really great, amazing thing about templates is that we already have stuff inside our template. For example, we have now the really header. We have this new section of the call to action. Who are we? Those are like some quotes, I believe, the team and the blogs about that. So if you kind of like this one, just go into continue or insert. So if I click into insert, all of the template, all of the pages, the header, the navigation bar, everything should be added directly into your new store or WordPress. And to access all of that, you wanted to go directly into the left part of your actual WordPress section so you can choose to edit this as you're just getting started here. So this one should be a little bit much more faster to edit. For example, here I go straight directly into what I do want to see and what I do not want to see. So I have the contact section, home, about, trainers. So let's go for recipes, contact us, about us, get in touch. So I don't want to see this actually. In business consultation for startups, I go into this text and let's go for welcome to the best website for recipes in 2023. So label this one, I click here and let's go for this is El month. And of course, it's going to be taking my time to edit more stuff. So I am not going to be focusing a lot into how you can edit stuff. So let's go here into this new image. So by image, I click into upload And there we go. So I'm gonna go now here into published. So you want to just to make sure that it actually is a really great website so far. So as you can see, we have one, we have two, three websites, and there's three ways that we can actually get started here into WordPress. You can use Pantheon to use all the plugins totally for free. You can use the free version. You can choose the customizable and more manual ways to add your new website, or you can use the free tool of the website. But what you can do here is just to add elements that were already been added, but you just need to edit your stuff, adding your blogs, your images, your store, everything directly into a template that has been already been created, of course, depending on what you're actually trying to look for. So with that being said, guys, this is how we can create an actual website into WordPress totally for free. We didn't have to pay absolutely for anything. We even have access to all these new templates and all these new tools and plugins, totally free things to Pantheon. So I'm gonna leave you guys a link down below in the description so you can check that out. WordPress and both the actual Pantheon, so you can check that out, both applications, and you can see which one fits for you the best. So we have not covered the basics. I know there's a lot, but so much more to cover since WordPress is actually really huge, and with plugins we have now let's say open a really great and huge box to make it like an unboxing. But with that being said, guys, I think we now covered the basics. We think we are now ready to get started. Use the ChatGPT tool so you can use this as your own favor and add elements, and you can, like, let's say for example, develop your website a little bit much more faster. You can even use ChatGPT to create an HTML file and even code totally for free here into ChatGPT. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you wanted to see more great tools about WordPress, about how to create an actual website with different platforms, you can check out our actual website and our actual channel here down below, and you can see that there's an actual full playlist of creating website for e-commerce, for platforms, for portfolios, for actually there's almost like a lot in everything here into our actual channel. So thank you once again for watching the video, guys. Hopefully we can all see you next video. See you soon.